every child having new clothes and new school supplies before the first day of school means that they are ready for school. But there are steps that you can take to make sure that they are completely ready. In this video, I will talk about the 5 steps that you can take to make sure that your child is ready for school. Hello, my name is Albina Terpetska, and I welcome you to Inspire Family Relationship Coaching. One of my clients reached out to me a couple of days ago because his 6th grade daughter told him that she doesn't want to go to school, that she was too scared. And he was really puzzled because just a few months ago, she told him that she was super excited about going to school because she was going to middle school. She wanted to be a middle school student. She wanted to be a 6th grader. And now she was horrified and refusing to go to school. And the problem is that is very common and very understandable considering almost 1.5 years of remote learning. That's why I decided to share with you the steps that I shared with my client to help his daughter to overcome her anxiety and be really prepared for school. And here are the steps. Step number 1, let them know that whatever they're feeling is okay. Let them know that it's totally fine to feel whatever they feel. Why this step is important? It is important because when children are experiencing negative emotions, such as fear, anxiety, worry, whatever it is, if it's a negative emotion, they think that there is something wrong with them. They think that they should not be experiencing that emotion. And they also think that they are the only one who are experiencing that. They're thinking that, oh, it's only me who is scared about going back to school. My friends are not scared, so they're normal, and I'm not normal. There is something wrong with me. What they don't know that most children are scared, especially now after COVID. They are anxious about going to school because they don't know what to expect. They forgot things, and some of them are going to school for the first time. So letting your child know, first of all, that it's normal to feel how they feel. And secondly, that other people also feel those emotions. It doesn't necessarily mean that your child, when they find out that their friends are feeling the same way, that they will immediately feel better. And that's not the point. But the point is that to let them know that that anxiety, that fear of discomfort before going to school, before something new, actually, it can be anything that is new in their life, and that is unfamiliar, that it's totally fine and it's common. It's not experienced just by them, but by other people as well. And you can even give an example of you experiencing discomfort or maybe fear or anxiety before starting your first day at school or at work. You can experience something that happened to you in the past, the feeling that you experienced in the past before starting something new or doing something that was unfamiliar to you. Taking a class. So whatever it is, share it with your child so they would feel like they're not alone and they would know that it is totally fine to feel what they feel and that other people are feeling that way too. Maybe not everyone and maybe not about the same thing, but at some point in their lives, everyone was experiencing that anxiety, or at least most of people were experiencing that anxiety. So that is step number 1. Step 2 is encourage your child to share. Encourage them to share what they're feeling. When they're sharing what they're feeling, they are expressing their thoughts. It will help you understand what they are thinking because their thoughts are creating their feelings. So when they're sharing with you, you know exactly what they're thinking, what thoughts are creating that feeling. And also it helps them to see and understand why they're feeling the way they're feeling. And it's really helpful when you point that out, that, oh, you see why you're feeling this way? This is why you're feeling this way, because you're thinking this way. These thoughts, that's what is creating your feelings. So that is a very valuable step because it helps your child. First of all, it helps you to understand what they're feeling and why. And secondly, it helps them to understand why they're feeling the way they're feeling. It brings awareness to them. They're becoming more self-aware, and they learn to monitor and pay attention and find those thoughts that are creating their feelings. And this step leads us straight to the third step. The third step is help your child process their feelings. This step begins with step 2, because when your child is sharing their thoughts with you, they're already processing. It helps them to process their feelings. But in this third step, I recommend you to go even deeper and ask them what kind of physical sensation they are experiencing, how that feeling feels in their body, what they're feeling. So questions like, what kind of feeling is that? Can you describe how it feels in your body? Where is it located in your body? So questions like that will really help you to help your child process their feelings. And if you're interested in learning more about it, you're more than welcome to join my Parenting Connection coaching program that is coming out very soon. It's almost done. I will let you know when it's finished, and you're welcome to join. In that program, I share much more about how you can help your child process their feelings. But this will give you a good start, and you already have an idea what you can do to help your child to process their feelings. So again, help them by encouraging them to talk, so they would express their feelings and then talk about their physical sensations. And sometimes those steps are enough for the child to feel better and to feel ready to go to school. But if those are not enough, keep going. The next step is step 4. Help your child question their thinking. Why we're doing that? First of all, notice that we are not doing that with all of their thinking because we don't want to cause them to doubt themselves, but we are doing that with unhelpful thoughts. Those thoughts that stop your child from doing something that would benefit them or something that they want to do but are too scared to do because their negative feelings are holding them back. So those thoughts need to be questioned. And the way you do that, you ask your child, how do you know that this is going to happen? So for example, in the case with my client, he said that his daughter was afraid of going back to school because she said that, oh, it's middle school, children are different, I don't know them, so they're going to bully me. And he asked her, following the steps, he asked her, how do you know that they're going to bully you? And she began, just because of this question, she already began doubting that thought because she couldn't name him, she couldn't tell him. She just said, I just think so. So then he proceeded, he asked another question that I recommended him to ask is, all right, what is the evidence? What is the evidence that proves that they're going to bully you on the first day of school and in general? And she couldn't prove that. She didn't have any evidence for that. That was just something that she learned by watching TV shows, from hearing from others. Those ideas were not even hers. So she was afraid of something that may not and probably would not even happen. And let's say your child says that, well, the evidence is that it happened last year. So then you can ask them, all right, it happened last year, but this year is different. Every year is different. So what is the evidence? What is the guarantee that tells you that the exact same thing is going to happen to you this year? So really help your child to realize that the ideas in their heads, those thoughts, are not necessarily true. And most of the time, they are just made up. They are some ideas that they have heard somewhere else, and they are not even their own ideas. And if it is something that is based on their experience, help them realize that just because they experienced it in the past does not mean that they're going to experience it the same or to the same degree in the future. So from this step number 4, we're going to go to step number 5, the final step in this process. Step number 5 is help your child to start thinking differently about what is going to happen. And to do that, you can ask them, what if when you go to school, students are going to like you? And even not all of them, you're still going to find good friends. What if you're going to absolutely like it? What if it's going to be one of the best experiences you will have in your life? And if it's a younger child, you can say, all right, you created this scary story about what's going to happen. But let's imagine that a happy story happens. So what is that happy story? What else that is good can happen on the first day of school or at the beginning of the first trimester? Tell me more about school. What good things can and will happen with you? And then encourage your child to share. Start dreaming and making that story together, because the story that they made in their head was made. So help them to recreate, rewrite that story and create a positive one. So they would create new positive thoughts, and those thoughts will create new positive feelings that will help them to feel encouraged and happy and excited about their experience at the school. Talk about your own experience. Share with your child something that happened to you. Tell them how you were afraid of something or anxious about something, and then later you figured it out, or you realized that it wasn't scary at all. Maybe it was when you started your work. The first few days of your work, you were afraid, you didn't know what you were doing, or month, or whatever that period was. You were scared, but then finally you realize that it's just practice. It just takes time. I'm learning, I'm adjusting, and it was totally normal that I was feeling anxious at the beginning. And that also sends a message to your child that it's totally fine to feel anxious. You can even tell them, if you see that they are still struggling to let go of that feeling and they're still anxious, you can still tell them that, you know what, it's okay, because it's something that is unknown, it's something that is new. But once you go there, once you start doing things, going there every single day, you're going to get used to it. You're not going to feel this feeling anymore. It's temporary. And then just stay with that feeling, hold space for them. And trust me, these conversation like this, doing this steps, going through this process is not going to just help your child with their anxiety, with overcoming their anxious thoughts and feelings, but will also help you to connect. And that's all I am about connection. I love, and that this is my mission, to help parents to connect, to create the parent-child relationship they deserve by connecting with each other. Thank you very much for listening, for watching. Go ahead and click that like button if you liked this video. Share it with someone that you know might benefit from it. And subscribe to my channel. In the comment below, please share what were your takeaways from this video. Thank you for being a wonderful, growth-minded parent for your child.